Hello! Welcome to Getting in Bed with Kristen. I have a guest. I don't know if you know who she is.
I'm Tegan.
I'm here with Tegan Quin. You may know her from Tegan and Sara. Or I don't know, maybe you're a local coffee shop. I don't know how you know people, but probably in many ways.
Mostly through Tegan and Sara.
Mostly?
Yeah.
The majority of people?
I mean, I'm still friends with all my friends from high school, though.
Oh, so you may know Tegan from high school.
Hey, what's up, friends from high school?
I went live at 3:01 today because...
I'm sorry I made you late.
Tegan had all these demands now. Heather Hogan is here. Hello. Heather Hogan is going to be helping us. So if you're new to Getting in Bed with Kristen, the odds are high that you might be new. I will let you know how this works. So you can ask us anything. You can ask Tegan anything. You can ask me anything. You can do that by typing in the little live feed thing here. I see you all, Alyssa and Julietta and all of you other humans. Georgia, hello.
Very good vision.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sometimes I have to do this though, to get in there. And if you want to ask your question anonymously, you can. You can go to everyoneisgay.com and click on ask and just start your ask with the hashtag GIBWK. Getting in Bed with Kristen is a weekly advice series hosted here on Auto Shuttle's Facebook Live. My name is Kristen Russo. You may know me from Getting in Bed with Kristen. I also run Everyone is Gay and My Kid is Gay. And I have a podcast about Buffy the Vampire Slayer, if you're into those sorts of things.
It's a very wide spectrum of interests.
It is, but they all have one common denominator, which is...
You?
Me and gay.
Oh, got it.
They're all very gay.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to jump right in because we have so very many questions.
Okay, I can't wait.
I'm going to start with some of the fun little questions, okay? So, Tegan, Anonymous wants to know, what is on your bucket list? Do you have anything that you want to do?
Oh my gosh. Well, sometimes I get overwhelmed because there's so many things I still want to do, which seems really greedy because we've already traveled around the world and done all these amazing things. But I've never been on a proper European vacation or gone been a tourist, or I think it would be really fun to write a book about our experience in the music industry and our lives. So I definitely have a list of things I want to do, but I don't know. I think my life is a bucket list at this point. I feel like I try to create every day I try to make a list of things that I should do just in case I get hit by a bus.
It's a little dark, but also motivational.
Yeah, but I mean, you gotta live that way. You never know. And if I go, know that I did everything I wanted to do as of today.
Well, and you said you travel all the time, but you're mostly traveling for work, which makes it a little different than traveling just for yourself.
Yeah, I've been on only a couple of vacations and I cry a lot on them because I cannot believe how awesome it is to travel and not be working.
No.
It's overwhelming how much joy I have. It's unreal. The littlest things will just bring me such joy. I'm
very happy that you get that joy, but I want to just tell you, I think you might need to take some more vacations.
I do. I'm a workaholic, it's true. But I'm really easy to please. I'm really... It's not tough. The bar's pretty low.
People are very excited about your book idea.
Oh yeah? Do you think I should write a book?
And people are very upset about your getting hit by a bus idea.
Okay, but here's the thing. Stay with me on this, is that if all of us lived our lives we just said what we needed to say and did what we needed to do, it doesn't mean you're gonna get hit by a bus. But especially for my friends and family and people who care about me, I hope everybody knows I really am living my best life.
That's pretty rad.
Yeah.
That's pretty rad. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna jump back into the anonymous questions. Do you wanna try your hand at some advice?
Yeah,
or
totally.
People that have advice questions for you. This one,
what to do.
This one I think is really fun. Somebody wrote in and said, "My wife and I just found out that we're having twins.
Holy shit!
Just wondering if you have any twin-specific parenting advice."
Oh my god, so much. I could probably write a book about how to parent twins. Well, I think a big thing is that you really do. Everybody tells you this, but you gotta treat them like individuals.
That makes sense.
And not dress them the same and those kinds of things. I think
did you not get dressed the same?
My mom claims there's a lot of photos of us dressed the same, but she claims that she would just do that for photos and send it to the people who'd given us the outfit. But I definitely think exploring and encouraging independence, but also they've basically proven that by taking twins away from one another, that can be really harsh on your development and your emotional stability as a young person too. Sarah and I we always slept in different cribs, but we were also almost 2 months early, and they kept us in different incubators, and apparently they don't do that now. That's really bad.
Oh no.
That's why we're so fucked up.
Oh. That's your root.
Yes, because we
That's
were like,
so
imagine you're like a
sad.
baby, and on top of being away from our mothers, we were away from each other.
I didn't sign up for this level of emotional.
So, there's some tips for you.
Oh my god, so don't separate your babies. That's so sad.
I know.
Things were really different back in the day.
I know.
That makes sense. Treat them like individuals.
Yeah.
I think the same advice applies to cats. You know, if you have more than one cat, you have to treat them.
Yeah, keep it as individuals. They're
Right.
their own people. It's true. It really did. I just got like sweaty. Like it made me anxious. Like
Just
to
thinking
talk
about it.
being an incubator.
Have you ever read the Golden Compass series? This is what I bring up. If you are a Getting in Bed with Kristen viewer, now it's just becoming a thing I bring up.
Should
every
I?
week.
I don't think I have.
Yes, you have to read it.
Okay.
They have.
Like, is it good for my like time off, like holiday reading? And stuff?
I mean, it's one of my favorite series I ever read. When Jenny and I went on our honeymoon, I was reading the second book and she was reading the third, and I was so anxious to read the third that I cut the book in half so that I could start. I know it was like Solomon's baby in a book, so that I could read the first half of the book while she finished the second because I couldn't wait for her to finish it.
Well, that's really cool.
So if you want to borrow my copies, you can, but the third one is in half. Anyway, the
Very generous of you, though.
the people in the book, thank you. The people in the book have demons, but not bad demons. They're like good, and when they get further and further apart from their demon, they feel like horrible pain. So I just feel like it's
Wow.
a metaphor for what you're
I
describing.
could get into this, I think.
Yeah,
I'll look
I
it
think
up.
you're gonna really like it. Okay, let's see. So I have different categories of questions from you all. You're all asking such wonderful questions. Here, there was a birthday question in there. Somebody else asked you about your birthday.
Yeah, they wanted to know if we spent our birthday together, Sarah and I.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Was that intentional?
No.
Because you have to be individual people.
I mean, I do. I can remember all of the birthdays that I've spent without her, and there's very few.
So how come you spent this birthday apart?
She just wanted to spend it in New York, and I came back to LA. So
Right.
yeah, we just did it. We didn't get to. We don't often get birthdays by ourselves. It's weird though. I don't really care about my birthday because it's like a shared thing. So if we're
Yeah.
not together, it doesn't feel. Yeah, it's like whatever.
Well, happy birthday.
I watched
Maybe-
a documentary about Vietnam, and
So uplifting.
it was like a dream day for me. And I read, and getting old, you guys. Getting old.
Hi, Maeve. How you doing? Yes, that is Tegan Quin in my bed.
That's me.
There's people here that are here because they are like Tegan. I know Tegan, so I'm gonna watch it because of Tegan. And then there's people here that are like, Kristen, we watch you all the time. Are you sure that's Tegan?
You're very popular.
They're not sure. It is. It's really her.
It's us.
Oh, that's a good question from Haley in the live feed. What have you been listening to lately?
Well, I've downloaded the audio book of Adnan's story, which is like the
yeah.
So like one of Adnan's close friends, his sister is a lawyer and wrote a book about the whole trial and the experience and so much stuff. And someone said, don't just read the book, like actually download the audio book. This is so geeky, but I've just like been walking around listening to that.
I can get into that.
I know you were asking about music, but I just don't even listen to music, so. It's so embarrassing.
That sounds like something I would be into.
Yeah, it's really good. I'm a big fan of podcasts, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm becoming a new podcast fan.
I like it that there's advice ones and there's happy ones and positive ones and comedy ones. I'm like obsessed with Two Dope Queens.
Oh, me too. It's great.
My favorite people.
Okay, so Reese, the Auto Straddle crew is helping me out since there's so many questions in the feed. Reese said, somebody asked, hi, Kristen and Tegan, what advice would you give to a high school student that wants to come out? I live in a conservative county, so I'm really nervous about it.
Yeah. What kind of advice do you usually give when people ask this?
I mean, I think, okay, so you live in a conservative area, so I would do it gradually, and I would do it with the people that you trust the most first.
Yeah.
That would be my top advice. And to think about, like, to put thought into it before doing it. That's something I didn't do when I came out in general. I wasn't in a very conservative area, but I feel like I sort of would blurt it out in unexpected times because I was so nervous. So I would suggest like sitting down, maybe writing a letter that you won't necessarily give to somebody, but that will help you like get your thoughts in order and really think about the people that make you feel comforted in general and go to those people first. And then you have people to talk to about coming out to other people.
I like it. This is like a multi-step problem. My stomach's really grumbling right now.
Do you want me to get you a snack?
No, okay.
I have granola bars. I have granola that I made.
I wasn't thinking about what I'm going to have for dinner tonight, but I did have like a moment where I was like, that's going to be so good. No, I think that's really good advice, actually. I like the multi-step plan, and I like the like thinking about telling someone that you really trust. It's hard though, because like I know I've heard these really terrible stories of people who tell someone that they really trust and then that person breaks their confidence.
Yeah.
So I think it's just really tough being young, and when you share something like that, it's definitely important to tell someone that you really trust. But man, I don't know, it's really tough. I always just tell people that you should, focus on finding a group of people that you really love. Like I'll say this too, and my experience is my own and really unique to a lot of people's, but I didn't tell anyone that I was queer until after I graduated high school, but I didn't feel like I was keeping it from anyone. Yeah. It was a different time. It was the 90s, but I just had such a cool group of friends and open-minded and thoughtful, and we had queer people that we hung out with, and I just really just waited until I felt right. Like I think there's a lot of pressure on coming out day, and there's a lot of pressure, and maybe my advice then just would be that when the time is right, the time will be right, and like hopefully you find someone to share yourself with or to share your news with. But also like I didn't rush it out, and when I finally did tell people, it was actually kind of like a non-issue. So also don't feel so much social pressure. There's a ton of social pressure on coming out, and I don't know that always works for everybody. Yeah, and there's a lot of time to do it at your own pace. I totally agree with that. I also didn't come out until after high school. Oh, really? Yeah, I didn't. I came out my freshman year in college. I got out of the house, and then I was like, now I'm ready. Okay, people have questions, as you might imagine, about music. Okay. So let's see. Is there any memorable, I'm sure there is there any memorable crazy fan encounter that was funny or scary on the most recent Love You to Death tour? Oh. Or like, yeah, if you have one that really sticks out. In recent years, things have been very calm. Not saying that y'all are getting boring, but calm is good. Calm is good. Stay that way. Yeah, we like calm. Yeah, we've kind of entered into a phase where I feel like people have become really, I mean, maybe I've just I don't know. But maybe I'm rose-colored glasses here, but I feel like our fans have consistently just been awesome. But in the last couple of years, there hasn't been a lot of drama. There hasn't been too many breaches of our personal space of private. Right. Like, people are pretty awesome. Have you had, like, people tell you, stories that have stuck with you? Like, oh, God, yeah. I mean, on our last record, Heartthrob, we did VIP meet and greets every night, so we met like 50 people a night, and people are so amazing, and they share so much, and it's, I mean, truly, it's overwhelming, to be honest, at times, because of how much, and people are sharing with you, and then you have to be like, okay, and now take a photo. Right. That's, by the way, that's the little cover that I'm going to use for when I post this video. Yeah. Is you smiling and me like horrified. That's usually the people's faces when we're like, thank you so much for telling us your life story in 30 seconds, but unfortunately now I have to take a photo and push it. It's awful. It's a terrible feeling. And lots of artists talk about the reason why they hate meet and greets is because of that. You're rushing people through, and they're sharing, they're bearing their souls, and it's such... Yeah, it's hard. So definitely people have told us amazing things, and we've had some very funny experiences, and we've had an overwhelming amount of, like, just incredible amounts of gifts and sharing and stories and letters, and it's so much. And honestly, there's very few bad apples. There are some, and we talk about them all the time behind the scenes, and how terrible they were. But that's honestly, it's so far. Like, in 19 years, there's so few I could even talk about. Most of our audience is just incredible, and we feel really kind of glad to have everybody, and y'all are the best. Yeah, when so this past June and every June for the last few years, I've helped to throw an all ages pride party, and Tegan was there and Sara to wish everybody a happy Pride. Good. It was so fun, and the reason I bring it up is because something that you both said there really stuck with me, in like thanking your queer fans specifically, and I don't know if you want to talk about that here, but just like the fact that they were sort of there at the beginning, and I think obviously because we were so young and so queer and open, but also super alternative. Like, we weren't making commercial music in any way when we started in the 90s. Like, we attracted people like us, a lot of college-age people initially, and it's amazing how many of them are still around. We saw this woman a few tours ago who has seen, only maybe 10 shows, but has been around since 1999. Wow. Like, saw us on a Canadian television show. Wow. And she's like, I'm too old to come see you guys now. But I just think it's so cool. The support has been really amazing. It is kind of something that we talk about a lot lately, which is that, like, we've been touring and working our whole adult lives, so we didn't really have a community, and we didn't have a scene. We didn't go to bars. We didn't, But someone pointed out recently to me this, which I thought a lot about, which is that we were a community, like our band, like online, you know, at the shows, at the meet and greets, and like, and it's been this really amazing cathartic thing for us to have that community and be able to rely on them and their generosity and showing up and stuff. So it's been really amazing.
That's right.
Yeah, and queer people are cool. They're like super alternative and interesting and have great stories. And I don't know if it's just me, but I just feel like queer people always have a really great sense of humor, which is one of the things I like most in humans.
What is the mailbox? People are asking about the mailbox. Will there be a mailbox at the next tour?
Yeah, we always have the mailbox. Well, you know, for a long time there was just so much mail, we just really couldn't write back to people. We felt very guilty about this because we're Canadian and we're people pleasers, and it just broke our hearts not to be able to write back. So if you drop off a postcard at the Tegan and Sara merchandise table at any of our shows with a stamp on it and your address, don't forget, people forget to write their addresses.
Oh no.
It's so heartbreaking. And they'll have like a letter, like
Oh, no.
paper clipped, and it'll be like, I love you, and this is so great, and let me tell you this amazing story, and it would mean the world to me if you would write me back. No address. And we're just like devastated.
You should just drop it with no address. You
Oh
know,
my
see
god,
where it
it's
goes.
awful.
Oh.
Like, we'll try to find them online. But anyway, yeah, you drop a postcard, you know, we'll write something back. Sarah draws her own
That's
version
so
of
fun.
emoticons. Yeah.
Wow.
So it got crazy out of control. We don't usually brag about that anymore because we were like, we'll write back to you, and then we had these like and I was like, no
I
more
was gonna
postcards.
say, yeah, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, so we will have it.
Somebody asked a question anonymously that was on my question list, so thank you for being unified with me here. Can you ask Tegan if she's planning to get a cat soon?
Yes. Thank you for asking that question. Yeah, we just talked about it for like an hour because I got to...
Yes. Do you want to talk to them about a cat while I go get my cat?
Yes.
Great. I'm leaving you alone. Good
I'm
luck.
also just keep noticing how weird my hair looks. Sorry, guys.
I think you look great.
I did apply some effort to get ready for this, but I think I want to get a cat, but I feel okay. I just have to fix that, you guys. I feel like I really am ready. I feel like I've been waiting for a long time, but I didn't feel like I was responsible enough or I was home enough. But I really want to get a cat. But I think I want to get two because I want them to have each other. What do you guys think about that? Lots of yes.
You can have this cat, but
Who thinks that I should have this cat?
it's not fair.
Yeah.
You will have more influence than me.
I think I'm ready, and I just feel like, especially lately, I've just been really thinking I really want to adopt, like, you know, I want to go to a shelter and take a couple cats who don't have homes. I kind of want to maybe get an older cat, too.
Yes, we almost got an older
Like,
cat.
an older and then a younger cat that like cats, like each other. This is the cutest cat ever.
This is Sam.
Oh my god, look at these stripes, Sam.
Lots of hearts for you, Sam. Listen, she doesn't care about fans.
She's like, I don't give a
This is the thing.
shit. She's,
Okay, say goodbye.
oh my, you guys have no idea how cute this cat is in person. And couldn't
She'll
give a
probably
shit.
hang out with us on the bed now. Yep.
Oh yeah, just lay it. Look.
She's here.
Can you see?
Yeah, but yeah. Last week she gave herself a bath for everybody. So, all right.
Yeah, I feel like I'm ready. So, if any of you guys follow us on social media, feel free to make suggestions about what kind of cat I can get or where I should adopt from. Just share with me what you want. Look.
Oh.
Ooh.
Cute.
She's so cute.
Okay. Ooh, we have fun lighting. There we go. It's like in and out.
Wow.
Yeah. So
We look right. Who cares?
The sun here is
Yeah.
having a moment. All right. Let's see. This is an interesting question. Hello, Kristen and Tegan. Thanks to everybody for saying hi to me too. Hi, Kristen and Tegan. Tegan, how did you and Sarah come out to each other?
I don't even think we did, to be honest. Ugh, we have like the worst gay stories where like the people they bring in and they're like, all right, tell us about whatever, and then we both have the worst stories. So distracted all of a sudden just thinking about my hair.
Look, your hair looks great.
I know, it's like I can't decide if it's left
Do
or
it-
right today. Do you ever have that?
Yeah.
You know?
Sometimes I go middle, actually, but I don't know.
I don't think I have the face for middle.
You got-
Like you have like
I think it's the
you have-
length.
Yeah, like and I have like a round face and I can't decide some days if it should be left or right. I think I'm gonna go left.
I think, yeah, is that left where it is now?
Yeah, I think so.
That's good. When I had Cameron here, Cameron did my hair. So if you want me to do your hair,
I saw it.
I have no experience.
It was really, I know,
Whatsoever.
I'm like overdue for a haircut too. Okay, our coming out story. It's really boring. I don't know. Sarah just had a girlfriend. It was just like we had queer friends in high school. it just wasn't, it didn't seem like that big of a deal. Sarah remembers it as being a bigger deal because my mom, when she found it, was upset that Sarah hadn't told her, and there was some drama around it. But
there's a great video too that I saw that your mom did, right? It's like the It Got Better.
Oh, we talk about her. Yeah,
it's
and
not
her
your
experience.
mom. It's you talking about your mom. Yeah, which is really.
I look like my mom in it a lot.
Okay.
But,
I saw it so long ago.
I don't know. I don't have. My mom did a lot of the work for me too. Sarah came out first. For me, I was just like, this is my girlfriend. When I finally had an adult girlfriend, it just was like, it was very obvious.
Right.
The girlfriend looked very much like a girlfriend. And yeah, I just was like, this is my girlfriend. And everyone was like, okay. And Sarah got it way harder than me. And then my mom just like traveled around. She like went on her own coming out tour, like flew around to our family, told everyone, like, we have this aunt who passed away sadly now, but was like 90 something and barely understood English and barely could hear. And my mother, like, I remember her pointing across the room at me and screaming about how I was with my girlfriend, not like a friend who's a girl, like a girlfriend. I was like, leave Aunt Stella alone.
She's 90.
She doesn't care.
Right.
She doesn't. Who cares what's happening right now?
But I feel like this is the perfect. Oh my God! Speaking of moms, hi mom. That's my mom.
Shut up.
Yeah. We were just talking about moms. It's like you heard us.
My mom's in Italy right now, so she's not watching.
Well, she can. It'll be actually, that's a great prompt for me to tell everyone.
Yeah, can she watch it later?
Yeah, so this video will be up on Autostraddle's Facebook page through Saturday. And on Saturday, it comes off of the Facebook page and it, hi honey, that's my, guys, it's my mom.
Sweet.
And then, and then it will come off the Facebook page and go to Autostraddle Plus members. So if this is your first time doing a Getting in Bed or your first time finding out about Autostraddle, Autostraddle Plus is a way to support that community. Autostraddle is queer media at its best, in my personal opinion. And I'm not even paid to say that. You know
Autostraddle
what I mean?
is really great. You guys should definitely support and go obsessively watch and support.
Yeah, and so, you know, go on over there and then you can share this video with your friends forever, because you'll have it forever. Plus, you'll get all the other Getting in Beds with Kristen, or Getting in Bed with Kristens. Getting in Bed with Kristens.
I'm such a bad grammar person, worst person to ask. I also just want to say the person that wrote that said that their mom outed them to everyone. I don't know if that was a sad thing or a good thing or a bad thing, but we have that in common. So, yeah, it happens. It's a big deal for parents.
It is. I wrote a book about it, actually.
Yeah.
Called This is a Book for Parents of Gay Kids. I didn't mean to plug my stuff.
Mansplaining you. I did that to plug you. No, but it's a really big deal, and it's like, it's sometimes really frustrating because it shouldn't be about them, but it is about them. In my mom's case, she was just really, I mean, we told her we were not going to go to university, be musicians, and we were gay all within a year. I mean, she was just like, why are you fucking doing this to me?
That's a lot. But yeah, parents, I mean, and I say this all the time, like, parents have a coming out process, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you have a coming out process for you, and usually when you come out to your parent, you have gone through, you know, you're not like, this is the first time I've thought it, let me tell my mom.
No, actually, that's really true. You've had your process, they're getting caught up.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Okay, there's so many questions that we're going to try to get to as many as we can.
I'll try to be more succinct.
No, don't.
I can be a bit verbose.
I think you're doing wonderfully. This is great. Okay, so let's see. Here's another cat-related question, a real easy one. Which would you choose, to have a chocolate bar or a cat?
A cat.
I don't understand.
It's not that complicated a question.
Like, you eat the chocolate bar, it's gone.
Yeah.
You know, the cat will sit
stays cute
unaffected forever. Okay, so a couple of people asked questions that were similar to this. Somebody said, what do you do to stay fit and keep looking young? Somebody said, I was wondering how you both look after yourselves physically and mentally. For Tegan when you're on tour, for Kristen when Jenny is away on tour. So do you have like a way that you take care of yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I do. Thanks for even implying that I might be fit. Whoever asked that question. You know, being on the road and being a musician, definitely the better we take care of ourselves, I think the better we are as musicians. And certainly we've learned as we've gotten older and our show has gotten more physical that building that core strength is really important. I think we're better singers in the last few years because we started to work out. And I think our breathing has become better. And, you know, meditation and yoga, all of that has been a part of our lives in the last, decade or so, like integrating some of that more like mental and physical and spiritual stuff into our lives. I think like eating well and taking care of ourselves has also like made us better musicians, and that all helps because if you're vain, I mean, I think I'm like a good healthy amount of vain, but like I do want to look good because everyone's always holding a smartphone no matter where I go.
Right.
If I'm just going for coffee,
and I'm sure always at the worst angle.
Someone will find me if I'm in the airport and have not put any makeup on. So I definitely drink lots of water and try to take care of myself. All that being said, that I think most important though is self-care inside, and I think that has just been about learning to say no to things, learning to surround myself with people that I really like being around, and constantly educating and reading and involving myself in things that make me feel good. And in the last couple of years, just giving back, like a lot of giving back, a lot of redistribution of my knowledge and wealth and energy into other areas, not just me, because we're living in this sort of like, I mean, we all know this. Look at we're all in bed with right now. So, but it's like it's a lot of self promotion, and for me, I've had to balance that emotionally with like giving back and making it not about me.
Well, that's a good segue to one of my questions, which was about the Tegan and Sara Foundation.
Okay, great.
I know a little bit about it. I even have
but before we talk about the foundation, can you tell me what you do when Jenny's away and your self-care?
Yeah. So my self-care, I agree with you that there's sort of like tiers of self-care. First of all, when Jenny's away on tour, like I miss her a lot. But when she's away on tour, I also enjoy it. Like I think it's a really special...
It's so nice to get the space, right?
Yeah, it's like I feel like the majority of couples or people in relationships in general like are with their significant other a lot, and we are like when we're home we are together a lot, and now we work together on this podcast. But when she's away, I really like stretch first of all, I like literally stretch. I get to fill out the whole bed and I love it. But
sleeping
I also,
alone is awesome.
It's amazing. I don't understand who invented sleeping together.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like I'll sleep with this one. She doesn't take up a lot of room. But you know who does? My wife. But yeah, I think that I like will see people in New York. I had a different routine. Like I would go, is she licking you?
She's licking me.
I would like take myself out to dinner. I loved going out to dinner by myself, like little things like that. And then in terms of just like mental self-care, I meditate. I use, the app Headspace?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it's great. It's fucking amazing. And I use Headspace. I try to use Headspace every day. And I also do like yoga. I swim. I'm a swimmer.
That's so great.
Yeah.
I just signed up for the Y yesterday.
Nice. Do you have a thing like elliptical,
weights,
weights?
Racquetball.
Oh my God. Wait until you tell Jenny this.
Is she into racquetball?
I hate racquetball. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to offend you, but she's always trying to get me.
I'm not very good at it. I just think it's really fun.
She just loves it, and I get so bored by it. So maybe you could be racquetball partners.
Oh shit, she should come play with me.
That'd be
sure.
Great. Oh, this is great. If nothing else comes of this getting in bed with Kristen, if we helped none of you. All right, cool. Good. I'm glad Facebook is doing its scrolling thing. Anonymous asked, Tegan Quin, will you please marry me? I don't know how you feel about that proposal. You know nothing about them, but.
Heard it here first. You know nothing about me. I know nothing about you. It doesn't seem like a good idea.
Let's get married. Okay, here's another little one. Did you know they don't have LaCroix in the United Kingdom? I didn't.
Devastating.
And I don't know why anybody is
Sarah wrote the other day that she's on a LaCroix. We say LaCroix, but I don't.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, I don't.
It's like tomato.
Yeah, exactly.
LaCroix.
But she said she was on a break from it, and I was like, is it bad for us? I guess it's bad because you're putting cans. Like it's a lot of cans.
Here's what I think.
A lot of it.
Because it says that there's nothing in it. But Tegan, you've had a lot of LaCroix. Do you have? And the other part of this question was, do you have a favorite flavor?
I like passion fruit and I like tangerine.
I've never had the tangerine.
Oh, it's so good. Did you know that they only stock certain brands at certain stores, like
to make you like?
I don't know.
Wow, I did not know that. But here's why I think Sarah's taking a break. I have no idea. I've not talked to Sarah, but this is why I would take a break.
Okay.
Is because they're flavored all over the map. They taste all different kinds of ways, and the ingredients, nothing. So I just feel like maybe
how
right. I'm like in 30 years. It's gonna be, and it's like a whole generation.
I don't
people.
care.
Yeah,
don't care.
Going hard.
Don't care. I'm still gonna drink it.
Well, you'd be a great study.
I'll tell you why. I will say that one thing is that I drink a lot of water. Like it's part of my health routine and whatever. But I've never been a drinker at home. Mm-hmm. Like I like to go out for drinks. I love going out for dinner. I'm a foodie. It's like my one thing. I don't go to the bar. I don't party. I barely even go to concerts. But when I cook at home now, like I cook at home a lot more, my girlfriend and I will have a glass of wine, which sometimes turns into a couple glasses of wine, which is fine. No big deal.
That's what wine does.
Yeah. No big deal. But lately I've been like, just like, I know, so good. vampires. It's really bright.
You keep talking, I'll deal. My high-tech sun lighting, you know.
Bring in our makeup people. Anyway, whatever. Long story short, I'm just trying not to drink as much wine.
How's that?
So I'm drinking LaCroix.
There we
It's
go.
fine. I look sickly, but it's not a big deal. I like it. This is
Beautiful.
real.
It never rains in Los Angeles, and it rained today. So, like, everything was set up for rain.
Don't even get me started. The other night I went on a rant. Nothing feels like injustice to me than when people not from LA tell us it's not ever cold here or never rains.
Oh my gosh.
It's factually untrue.
No, listen. It is freezing here.
It's freezing.
It gets cold in a way.
This is from someone who lives in New York.
New
and I'm
York,
Canadian.
my whole
It gets
life.
cold here.
It gets cold in a different way. And you know what you can't do? You can't prepare for it. That's the difference. In New York, you're like, it is winter now. Probably in Canada, where you are from.
It's cold fall.
It is. Okay, so, but you're like, I'm in the season where I would wear a sweater.
Yes, but here, nothing bothers me more, like, than when I'll, like, buy a jacket or I'll be wearing a jacket and I'm like, oh, this is so good for me in LA. And someone's like, it's not cold in LA. That's not true. It's cold
and
here.
it comes out of nowhere, you know? Anyhow. Wait, you were gonna tell us about the foundation.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's not as important as what I think about how stupid it is if people don't realize it's cold here.
And your favorite LaCroix flavor. These are all
super
equally
important
ranked.
topics.
Yeah,
whatever.
equally ranked.
Okay. People are telling us about their weather. Yeah, Britain. Of course, it's cold and rainy.
Winter is coming, even in LA. That's
Yeah.
a Game of Thrones. Do you watch Game of Thrones?
I've read the book, so but
Ooh.
I've watched the first 2 seasons, so it's gonna be next year. I'm gonna be catching up on a lot of stuff, including Game of Thrones.
Did you ever watch The Bold Type? I saw that you were going.
Yeah.
Did you?
I love it.
Me too. I watched it obsessively.
This is
Great.
on my hair again. I got
People-
distracted. Guys, more important than my
It's
hair.
hard to talk when you can see
I
yourself.
know. I
right?
hate it. It's so stupid.
the
I'm not gonna
worst.
look. The Bold Type. I mean, so much diversity, so many amazing, like, incredible stories that you never see on television.
Of like women being so good to each other.
Yeah.
Like no, and not to spoil it for you.
No, it's great,
But-
and it's cheesy. It's cheesy and easy and fun in all the best ways, but then like thoughtful and multi-dimensional and layered and smart in all the ways you want it to be as well too.
Yeah.
And
It rules. I want to watch it again actually. So if you haven't watched The Bold Type, this is not an ad.
no,
It's just two people
we're
who
just
love
saying
good
when
things.
we like things. Yep.
Who's your favorite character? Great question from Sarah Sarwar.
Ooh,
I know.
Who's your
Sutton.
favorite?
My favorite character is Sutton. I love Jacqueline so much, so deeply.
Yeah, sure. of
Right,
course.
Jacqueline?
Sure.
That's the boss. The boss, yeah. But
Of course
Sutton is
the
my
old-
favorite.
Of course, the old bitches pick Jacqueline.
Yeah,
now,
I mean,
the boss.
I
someone
wanna
with
be
power,
Jacqueline.
authoritative power.
But she's so good with her power.
She's amazing. How often when we see women in power in films, especially or television, they're always mean
Yes.
and evil, and yet
Yes.
again they redefine what it is to be. I'm not a mean and evil person, and I'm a boss.
Right?
So-
You don't have to be those things. This is Heather Hogan, if you're still here, I feel like this is her favorite part of the entire live stream.
Because she really likes the Bold Type.
Yeah, and like television in general. So
Oh,
I
yeah,
feel like
yeah.
the fact that we just spent a good chunk of
Representation for LGBTQ people, but women. It's just been dismal for our lifetime, but it's changing.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it change.
There
We're
are
changing
so
it right now on this Facebook
time. Right.
Live.
We
Okay.
should. So there's so many human beings here. I want you to tell everybody about the foundation. I also want to tell everyone how this works because there's like I don't know a billion more people that were here in the beginning.
Oh yeah, tell them.
We're doing an AMA. My name is Kristen.
I'm
This is
Tegan.
Tegan Quin.
Hey,
and we're doing an AMA, so you can ask your questions live in the feed, or you can do them anonymously by going to everyoneisgay.com, click on ask, and use the hashtag
Heather's here.
GIBWK. Yeah, right? Of course
She's
Heather's here. Here and excited.
Okay, well, we're gonna answer more questions, and I'll be more succinct. But yeah,
We have time.
I want to tell. We do have time. It's true. I don't know why I'm acting so panicked.
Somebody wants you to prank call Sarah.
That's funny.
Like we're having a sleepover.
We could maybe do that. I don't know. She never really answers my calls, so I don't know how that would go. But okay, so Sarah and I launched a foundation called the Tegan and Sara Foundation.
Yes.
And this October 20th, we put out a record. Are going to put a record out called The Con X Covers. It's to celebrate the 10th anniversary of our record, The Con, and we got 17 artists to cover the record. And all the proceeds are being donated by our wonderful record company, Warner. And all the artists donated their time and energy and did the recordings for free. You can pre-order it now, so you can go to our website and pre-order it. It'll be available everywhere. I've seen a bunch of people asking. Yes, it's going to be available on Spotify and all the other streaming places. Right now, if you want to pre-order the record, you get Church's cover of a song of ours called Call It Off.
Yes, that just happened, right? I feel like I just saw
Just
that.
came out on our birthday, yeah. And but there's so many great artists, and we all 17 artists are either LGBTQ or they're LGBTQ allies, not quiet behind the scenes allies, like outspoken, you know, like fought for LGBTQ rights.
Yeah.
So it's a really cool record, and all the money will go to the foundation, and $1 from every ticket from our upcoming fall tour will also go to the foundation. So we're really excited to raise money, and we're raising money for self-identified women and girls, and our focus is representation and healthcare and you know, sort of closing the gender gap and economic gap between the sexes. And we're raising funds for smaller grassroots organizations that center women and girls. And because a lot of them are just struggling to keep their doors open and do the amazing work they're doing. A lot of them are not struggling. They're doing amazing work, and we're so proud to be partnered with them and creating programs and fundraising for them, and it's been really inspiring. So for every bad thing that we read and see, there's like 100 amazing things happening. So it's been a really exciting time, and we just really want to legitimize our activism, and we're so proud to represent our community, and our fans have been so generous so far. It's just incredible. So many of you, I know I've seen some names of people like who are giving already to our foundation, and we just are so grateful. And you know, I know it's a really terrible time right now, and everyone's really like all over the place, including me, and the internet's like a toilet, and I just like pray for the asteroid. But also, probably none of that will happen, and so we should just be really good to each other. And it's just been amazing since we started the foundation to see how many wonderful people are out there. So
is that that's amazing. Also,
that's my spiel.
Yeah, it's a good spiel, and it's a really incredible mission.
Yeah,
and I wonder, like, I mean, my question is, where did the idea come from? I mean, obviously, like, the idea to support self-identified women and girls is whatever, but like, was it inspired by like recent events? Was it?
You know, we've always been really political, and we've always sort of, when appropriate and when necessary, used, you know, our platform and used our stage to amplify messages that we thought were significant. But I think like around Prop 8, like the marriage equality fight, like in 2008, that range of time, we had sort of gotten to a bigger place, and we just had a bigger audience, and we really wanted to use our power for good. And in the last couple of years, you know, since we sort of shifted more into the pop world, we have more visibility. We want to use it for good. There's a lot of things we can do that cost nothing, which is just like use our mouths, and we get in the door at a lot of places that a lot of social justice organizations can't get into. You know, we do a lot of things with big corporate brands, and they were invested in the marriage equality fight, so we want to reinvest them into, you know, the civil rights movement for transgender people, and we want them to know that you know, there's a disproportionate amount of suffering and sadness and disparity in certain communities within this marginalized community.
Right.
And they are shockingly open to hearing about it, if you could believe it. And they're also really open to funding and helping. And before we become obsolete and no one cares about us, we really want to use our power for good. So, and you never know how long it's going to last.
I don't think you're going to become obsolete.
People could not care about us next year, but in the time where people still care, Sarah and I are really committed to giving back, you know? And there's a lot of, like, Sarah put it more eloquently than this, but there's a lot of things we say no to doing because we don't have the time, because it doesn't fit our brand, because it just isn't necessarily something that feels like we're passionate about it. And we've decided not to say no to those things, and instead we've gone back to those kind of organizations or groups or events and said donate to the foundation or partner with this.
Yes.
And so we're trying to also use the visibility we have and the access we have right now for good. That's our superpower.
And that is how, seriously, that is a superpower.
But you do so many amazing things. I mean, the list of things that you're involved in and the things you've done and given back, I mean, we're inspired by people like you, because we had a platform to start from, but like most people working in the social justice realm like had to come up from like obscurity and build it one by one. And we're like just grateful that we can open the door and maybe help organizations. Like, you know.
Thanks. Just how great is this person?
We're just trying.
This you know because you're here that this is a great person.
I'm not really that
good. But it is. I mean, I think that like using, and I try to do this as well on a different scale, but like, you know, always using the platforms that you have to elevate voices.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what you're doing, and it's so rad. And if you don't know about the foundation, you should definitely go check it out.
Please. You can go to the teganandsarafoundation.org.
Yeah.
And we have a mailing list that Sarah and I send out every month, which talks about organizations we really love, organizations we're supporting, ways you can get involved. and yeah, or you can just do something as simple as combining your favorite things, which is music and giving, and you can pre-order our record or come see a show. And you're helping. Just by doing that, you're helping women in the LGBTQ community.
And now is the time. I mean, it's always the time, but like if ever there were really a fucking time. Sorry, I curse all the time at getting in bed with Kristen.
God, and your mom is watching.
But today, where do you think I get it from? She's going to be so mad. I can't believe you told all those people that I taught you how to curse.
My mom too.
You know?
Just a real trucker mouth.
Yeah. Mix for strong women. Okay. Somebody asked, which I thought was a fun question. This person says, Tegan, I started trying to write music. Do you have any advice for someone who wants to be a musician? What is your songwriting process like?
My advice is, well, like, I'll be sincere that, like, it's actually kind of hard to learn an instrument, and, like, you know, writing a song is intuitive, so I think, you know, some people have it and some people don't, but I think you have to be really passionate. You know, you have to put a lot of time and energy in, like, tens of thousands of hours of honing your skills, and you know, being a musician, I mean, anyone can do that if what you want to do is to build a music career or to, you know, get signed or tour or all those things. It's just a lot of work, honestly. That's what I just tell people. It's just a shocking amount of work, and it never really becomes easier.
I would imagine that there's like I don't know, like that there's something that happens too as you start to climb the ladder of success, where your relationship to the music you're creating changes too.
Yeah, well, I know for me, like, as we've become more successful or our band has become bigger, I feel more and more like I need to practice more. I need to become better. I need to, like, you know, if we're talking about getting healthy, like, I need to build my muscles. I need to be a better singer. A lot of the last couple of years, Sarah and I have been playing less guitar on stage and less keyboard on stage, mainly because we wanted to focus on this instrument. Like, we wanted to sing better. We wanted to sing better together. We wanted... so it's like, I guess my, you know, yeah, like the underlying advice I always give is just this theme of, like, it's a lot of work and you just gotta pour everything in. It's really, it's hard.
Yeah.
And everybody is, like, everyone's good. I meet so many amazing musicians. It's just like, it's so hard. You gotta just be really, you gotta have a horseshoe up your ass too.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
We've been so lucky.
Well, I mean, sure. I think there's always, like, the time, place, and, like, things happening for reasons, but you also have to be really brilliant at what you do.
Sure.
There are people that are super brilliant at what they do, and they're not, you know, playing to the crowds they are playing to, but I think that...
The horseshoe, people won't like it because it makes me seem like I'm trying to minimize how hard we've worked, but we're also twins, so it stood out at the beginning. Sometimes when I give people advice, I'm always like, I don't even know if I'm qualified.
Be a twin.
Yeah, and like, you need someone that looks like you to carry the weight.
I'm giving us, don't worry,
Are you getting us light?
I'm giving us more light. I wear many hats in this production.
Light.
How is it? Is it better with light or without?
I think it's fine.
Yeah.
It's for the people who've been here from the beginning. They're getting many different views of our faces.
Right. If anyone tries to do gifts, they'll be, like, mismatched for days.
It's going to be weird.
Okay. So many more questions. Let's dig into a few more. Do you want a fun short question or an advice question?
Let's do some short questions.
Okay.
Let's get some. I want to
short, fun
people pleaser. I want to satisfy people.
Me too. We're well matched for this. People pleasers, us both. Okay, so somebody says, what is something that you have that you're OCD about, or you have as a pet peeve? Do you have, like, stuff that drives
so
you
many
nuts?
Thousands.
Oh,
of
great!
Things.
Tell me. Oh my God! Now I'll be able to see if I've done any of them in the short time that you've been here.
No, you're perfect. You're great. You've been a wonderful host. I am an efficiency expert, so I just feel like
that.
Yeah. Sometimes it can be a bit of a disability because I have trouble calming down in certain places. Like if I go to a hotel room and it's not set up right, or when I'm in a Dwayne Reed getting, you know, a few random things, it's like I'm constantly assessing all locations, everything, and thinking it's a better way to have done this.
Do you think there's a better way to set up my bedroom?
Well,
and we just moved stuff around yesterday. I'm not settled yet.
Well, I'll be honest. I could never sleep in your bed set up this way because I sleep on this side. And
that's good because I sleep on this side. So far we're doing great.
So far we're matched. But what'll happen is that every time I'm turned this way, or if I'm cuddling you, my back's to the door, and so I will sleep very.
Because you're worried about people coming in.
Yeah, I just can't sleep with my back to the door. So if this was my room, I would put my bed in front of the window. But you have this very beautiful bed and headboard. Yeah, so it would block the windows open in. Oh. It's complicated. Yeah.
But yeah, we're figuring it out.
I think you've set it up the way that it needs to be set up. But I'm an efficiency expert. I constantly move furniture around. I mean, it's difficult. It's not an easy life, the one I'm living. I'm Virgo. I'm OCD. I'm really clean. I need. Have you ever been to the site Secret Birthday? Mm-mm. Okay, you gotta go.
Okay.
You and Jenny have to do it. It's like you could do it for yourself, but then you can put anyone. We could put us in, and it's. I'm not even gonna ruin it for you. It's too many details. Everyone should do it. It's so
Secret
interesting.
Birthday, secretbirthday.com?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Or secret. Yeah, just Google Secret Birthday. I think that's what it's called. I'll tweet if I was wrong.
Okay.
But Sarah and I, when you put us in, it's shocking when you put our birthdays in, and part of it is like it's just the OCD specific like aesthetic beauty type thing. Really is a big focus of our lives, and I have trouble being calm in rooms that are not calm. Mm-hmm. As long as it's not my space. If, like in this room, I wouldn't think much about it, but this would never do.
Right. You heard it here first. My bedroom is not up to Tegan standards.
It's not even a standard. It's
just your brain.
All that's in my room is a bed and a lamp.
Yeah, simple. I'm a very visual person too. I mean, I feel like we have different like ways about it. But yeah, I mean, listen.
I loved your house. It's a wonderful space.
Do you want to know what one of my pet peeves is?
Yes.
It has nothing to
desperately.
do with space, but one of my pet peeves is when people chew with their mouths open.
Oh no.
Do you chew with your mouth open?
I don't think so.
No, we can never eat together.
I will say I do. I have a funny food thing though, apparently. Okay. I was not aware of it until recently. Someone made me aware of it. But when I'm eating something that's warm, I tend to, when I put the fork in, I pull it off the fork with my front teeth. And apparently that's really annoying.
That wouldn't bother me, but that would bother Jenny because I do that, and she's always like, "Can you stop doing the teeth thing?"
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my biggest. Like, it gets under my skin and then like grows exponentially.
Yeah.
As it goes on.
I'm a pretty easygoing person, I think, lately. But in the past, certain food things and eating things have bothered me too.
Yeah, it's just noises, you know? I don't need any more reminder that we're all in like bags of flesh. I don't like it, you know? I don't like tattoos. Any new tattoos? Yeah, you have a lot of tattoos.
I do. No new ones though.
I have just this one.
What is it?
It says "Don't get sad."
Yeah, that's a good.
It's just my one.
Good note.
My one tattoo.
Yeah, I like it. Are you gonna get more tattoos? Do you think?
Somebody just asked you to choose between Sarah's two cats. What kind of a question is that? But you're like, I totally can.
I mean, Holiday was the firstborn, and so I think everyone in the family feels a lot of affection. I do think Mickey is so sweet, and he can be really cuddly, which Holiday is not. So it would be tough. It would be a tough draw for me. Did you answer? Are you gonna get other tattoos?
Oh, I didn't hear you. I'm so sorry. I don't know. So here's what happened with me in this tattoo. I got this. I don't know if you can see it. It's just this little tattoo, and it's words. And I got it done by a tattoo artist who's like done huge tattoos and have been great. So I definitely think he did a good job. But it's a little bit scarred. And so I'm panicked that it's me, that like if I got another tattoo I would scar, and so I haven't gotten any more because I've been worried. Otherwise I would.
You know what? I think with tattoos it's like when you're gonna get one, you just know.
See, that's what I did for years, and I couldn't settle on anything.
Yeah.
And then one of my friends said the opposite. He said,
you just do it?
You have to think about it. Like, you have to actively think about what you want. This was actually... lucky for me, Jenny and I are married now, but this was something that Jenny wrote to me on a piece of paper at like
so sweet.
Maybe 4 months of dating or something. It was
so sweet.
It is sweet now because we're married,
right?
But like
it
was
have been
weird. It was a little soon. Yeah, it was a little soon. But so then I made her write it like I didn't use that version, of course, because I'm very visually cued, so I made her write it like 4 million more times.
Oh my god.
Tegan. What is the least glamorous part of being a super amazing famous rock star? This person says, since we're sharing, the least glamorous part of my job is that a 7-year-old puked on me today and then yelled at me.
Oh my god. That happens pretty often on our tours as well.
7-year-olds puking.
Yeah, I'd say, I mean, honestly, the travel, it's just like, our life is, no one will believe me when I say this, but our life is actually quite normal, and it's pretty much like everybody's life. Like, it consists of finding sustenance and places to sleep and
food and air.
Yeah, and then doing the job that we really love. And I hope all of you are doing something that you love. But the travel is hard. I mean, like, touring itself is made up of so many different things because it's not just the shows, right? It's the travel, the group hanging out with 18 people all the time, press and interviews and meet and greets, and it can be pretty exhausting, and it's not very glamorous. The tour bus looks so cool from the outside, but you remember it's still just a giant camper where, 12 adults sleep.
Do you sleep well on the bus?
No.
No.
Because you're hurtling down the highway at 80 miles an hour with 12 other adults in a coffin.
But I sleep better in the coffin than in a bed. But also, I have not had that much time in the coffin of a bus.
I'll be honest, I did. I slept
more.
better when I was younger on the bus, and we've had a few accidents, and that changes the way you sleep. And I think I just have been a lighter sleeper since I hit my mid-30s.
Yeah.
Truthfully, I think it's a hormonal thing. But I'm so glad that we're at that level where we can have a bus, so I feel bad complaining. But I think that's the least glamorous part is that.
Yeah. It's not complaining.
I saw a bed bug, I think, the other day
What?
in a
You're
hotel.
sitting in my bed.
In a hotel.
I'm like,
no,
get out!
I didn't even unpack or anything. I don't know. Because I do like a whole tour of a hotel room. I look everywhere, look at everything, and make sure it's clean before I like unpack or do anything. And I change furniture around, and I take art down, and I move anything noisy.
Yes. I like this.
Yeah.
These are all good qualities.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
Somebody wants to know what the favorite age you've been is.
Right
so
now.
far. I know, that's...
Live in the present.
It's hard to... I mean, I will say, though, like, when I went to college and I was 17 when I went to college.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good year.
That's so great. Nobody ever says that. I feel like people always have, like, kind of traumatizing first couple years in college. That's so great that you had such a good time.
I had good roommates, and I don't know.
Where did you go to college?
Binghamton. Well, at that point, I transferred in my junior year, but I went to SUNY Binghamton, which is a state school in New York.
Okay.
And
What's junior year? What year is that?
3.
3.
Yes.
Canadian.
What do you do in Canada?
I don't know. I never went to college. We go to university.
What do they call university years?
First year, second year.
Okay, that makes sense. That's like Harry Potter. That's right. Is that what they say for Harry Potter?
Maybe. It's been a while since I read Harry Potter, but maybe it is like we also say, like, you say, in America, you guys say, like, 7th grade,
yes.
8th grade. We say grade 7.
Yes, I've heard people. I've talked to people not from the United States before.
Tell me about it.
So we only have a few minutes left. We're running out of time.
Okay.
But don't panic. Do you want to maybe try one more advice question before we go?
Yeah, sure.
Let's see.
Also, I just want to acknowledge all your questions are really sweet on here. You guys.
Yeah, and if you see something that comes, like, I'm trying to see this and that, but if you
look, someone saying that where you went to college is awesome.
Oh, thanks. I love SUNY Binghamton. It's a great school. I love state schools. I'm a big supporter of state schools. Do you like Harry Potter?
Yes.
Same.
Obviously.
Yes. I mean, I love Harry Potter.
Come back to Australia. I'm so sorry I had to cancel that tour to Australia. I was so sick. I actually found pictures of myself. We were supposed to go. Yeah, we were supposed to go to Australia. I think it was February this year, and I went to the doctors twice in 1 week, and he was just like, yeah, he didn't clear me to fly, and I felt so bad. It was the first time we'd ever canceled a tour. But I saw pictures of myself, and I have, like, thought about it since, because people will say, like, oh, we're so sad you didn't come to Australia. And I saw pictures from the week, and it's crazy how, like, I forgot. Like, I have these, like, crazy black, like, I was so ill.
And were you, like, not cleared to fly because
he just was
congestion?
Like, you know, he couldn't stop me, but he just was like, you know, you're... Like, I was on steroids and had no voice, and I was coughing, like, thousands of hours a day kind of thing, and he was just like, I wouldn't go... Like, if it were me...
Yeah.
I'd been on steroids for like 3 weeks, which is really bad for your immune system. And he was like, you could catch something terrible.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, Australia. Good day.
I think you made the right choice in taking care of yourself, you know? All right, how about this? And maybe you've gone through something like this. Somebody wants to know if you have advice for coming out to a best friend. And this person says, we've had conversations about the LGBTQ community. Spoilers ahead for Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It oddly started from us talking about Willow and Tara from Buffy. She is supportive of the LGBT community, but for some reason I'm really hesitant to come out to her. Did you have any difficulty, like, coming out to close friends of yours?
No.
Because you felt like you knew that they'd be okay.
I just have a lot of, I don't know, I guess I wasn't worried about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard, that was a while ago. Yeah, I don't know. But my advice is that, like, again, like, I think that it's so normal to be nervous. It's so normal to be worried. You never know how it's going to go. So, of course, that's normal. You'd have apprehension. But it's been so positive for so many people that, like, you know, you have to think positively that it'll go okay. I think if they're your best friend, they love you and it should be okay.
And they're giving you like a beacon in the night. Like, boy, I sure do love these queer characters on television.
I was thinking this. I was like, sounds like she's gay too. But
right.
I mean, no, just kidding.
Probably.
It's terrible. Terrible.
I went to see a show the other night. I don't know, maybe you know Gabby Dunn, maybe you do not. But Gabby Dunn is a friend of mine, and I went to see her show, and she did like this Q&A. And these people next to me, one stood up and said, like, what do you do when you're in love with your best friend, but she lives across the country? And then the other girl stood up and was like, I'm the best friend. And they were like, she just flew out here to tell me she loves me, and I love her too. It was like,
holy fuck.
Right?
Wow.
I felt like my whole career had led me to that point. Like, the amount of people who've been like, I'm in love with my best friend, help.
There you go. Tell them.
Yeah, tell them.
I don't know. It's so, coming out, well, I will say this, coming out stuff is really tough because I am so happy I'm gay. Like, so happy. Not one moment since it occurred to me that I was, like, a queer person has it felt like a sad thing. I had no fear in coming out. It took me a while to come out, but I think it had more to do with the relationship I was in because it felt kind of special and secret. Like, even for me, not being out to people felt special. Like, I was like, this is mine. And it felt romantic. And I just, every day I wake up, I'm truly happy that I'm queer. I feel my life experience has been more unique and exciting and different, and I feel I'm a more empathetic person because I'm an other, and I am so glad people want to get into the armed forces, and I'm so glad people want to get married and have, you know, these things, these rights that they should. But I don't want any of those things. I almost never want to get married because I like being different. I like that I'm different than everybody. Mm-hmm. I'm glad. And so that's not exactly the answer to the question, but I would say that, like, go into your coming out when you're ready, but go in with confidence because you're fucking rad. Like, it's so fucking great being queer. But I know in some places that's a very privileged thing to say. I was so lucky because I had a cool family. I had a great group of friends. But I grew up in Calgary, Alberta, and most people from Calgary would say they wouldn't have thought I would have had that experience. Right. But just lead the charge. You're unique. You're different. You're awesome. You're going to have more empathy because you're different than everybody else. And just fucking be glad.
Hell yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
It's like, yeah, sure, there's an element of privilege to being able to say that, but there's also something very revolutionary about saying it, you know?
Yeah.
Saying, like, I fucking love who I am. Sorry, I cursed again.
Yeah. No. But I will say that, like, for some people, I know the experience is really tough, and I know reminding yourself every day that you're awesome is hard, but you should do it. Because you are. You're great.
Hell yes. Wow. Listen, should we tell anybody anything before we go? You're about to do a tour.
Yeah, go to our website. Don't forget, we're going out on tour in North America. I'm so sorry. I've seen, like, people writing from the Philippines and the UK and Brazil and Mexico. Mexico, we're thinking about you, of course. But yeah, I'm so sorry we're not going anywhere else. We're just going to finish up in North America, and then we're taking, like, I'll say this, I don't want to panic anyone.
Oh, no.
But, like, we're going to start doing some announcements. A lot of the shows are into, like, you know, really, like, very few tickets, single-digit tickets kind of stuff. Don't dawdle. But also, we're not going to tour for a while. Like, we're going to be taking some time off, some years, a couple years. I know don't fuck around. If you're thinking I'll catch them next year, you're not going to catch us for a few years. So
listen, I know everybody else is upset by this news. I'm happy because I think you deserve some time.
Yeah,
I'm
gonna get some cats. We're not gonna.
You're gonna get. Sorry,
I'm not gonna disappear. Look,
the sun came out. The sun is thrilled. Yeah.
We're not gonna disappear completely. We've got lots of things that we're gonna do, and we want to, like, you know, we're going to continue to fight and support the community and focus on the foundation, and maybe we'll write a book, maybe we'll do a podcast, maybe I'll come back and get in bed with Kristen, but also ultimately, don't fuck around, man. We only got like 30 dates.
Go.
Here we go.
Go. You must go. Also, someone has asked a couple of times, and I think this is very sweet. Can you say hello to my wife, Brenda, who's currently on deployment, so I can send her this video and she can feel happier when she watches this?
Absolutely. Hi, Brenda.
Hi, Brenda. I know you wanted Tegan, but I'm saying hi too.
No, they want both of us. Be safe over there, and to everybody who's watching, take care of each other. And if you live in the States, don't forget to call your senators and Congress. And I get confused with the American and Canadian words, but, like,
call your people.
Call your people. Don't sleep on this. I know you feel overwhelmed, and there's just, like, so much information and everything's happening, but we've got to stay focused and we have to stay organized.
Yes.
So
yes. what Tegan said. Thank you so much for getting in bed with me.
It was my pleasure. I wish we'd got to spend more time with Sam.
I know. Should I go get her for our goodbye?
Yeah, let's get Sam to
You'll have to fill in the time there.
I will.
Bye.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, Susan, I think a podcast would be great. Hi, Nina. Something about the Lion King. My smile?
She's hiding in her little cat house.
You guys are so sweet. All your comments are so positive. You guys are all so sweet. Thank you so much for tuning in. Sometimes we talk about doing Facebook Lives more often, but...
They're fun, right?
I guess so.
Especially when the sun isn't going.
No, it's really great. Ooh.
All right. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much. I'll see some of you next week. I'll be here talking about advice related to school or work on the 28th. And until then, I'll be here in bed with Sam and Tegan.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.